All right, Alex Lima's in the house. Black Belt Fitness. Welcome back in.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm hanging out. You got the best beard in martial arts here in the studio with you.
There you go. Boom. Just like that.
That's it. I got a gray hair on it for every soul I've taken in battle. So,
there you go. I like it. That's good, man. Black Belt _ Jitsu. That's your Instagram?
That's Instagram. That's like my social media handle. You can always look up hashtag Black Belt Fitness Tampa or just Google, Black Belt Jones. I'm not hard to find.
So what's new in your world, man?
Man, I'm getting again, due to the pandemic, a lot of things kind of slowed down for a while for me. But I would say one of the hardest hits I took was I was not able to do a lot of charity work, and I love doing things in the community. So now I'm able to get out there. We got a couple of things in the works. I'm working with some specialty clients as far as people with disabilities and stuff. And the competition circuit is opening up again. And I actually started training camp on Monday. So I'm ready, man. I want to do something. So
nice. So training. So you got your opening training camp up?
No, I'm in a training camp. I'm getting my body ready to compete and do some stuff coming up within the next couple months or so. I'm going to put myself through a solid 3 to 5 months of fine-tuning, getting my strength and conditioning back into fight shape. I'm always in shape, but there's a difference when you're in fight shape.
Right.
And so I'm doing that and training hard with some good partners and, ready to sign up for something. Hopefully by next week I'll have something signed and ready to go.
That'd be awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
What do you think about this new phenomenon too? It just seems kind of like, so you have, for example, you have the UFC, of course, and you have WWE, WWF wrestling. WWF became WWE.
Yeah.
Ken Shamrock, for example, this is one of our friends we've talked about.
Yeah.
But now you have these YouTubers Logan Paul or whatever the name is. He's got millions of followers. So they're setting up these fights between these guys. They're not really the tip top of the fight world. But explain to us what that is about and what that phenomenon is.
I knew you were going there.
Yeah. Well, my daughter shows it to me on TikTok. Oh, check this out. This is, this guy. And he said he's going to beat him. And he said he would beat him in a fight. So everybody's buying into the whole WWW, or FEF, WWF type entertainment talk. Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually made a post about this not that long ago. My thoughts on it specifically are, so for one, kudos for them for putting themselves in a position enough to where they have enough influence in order to sell a fight. Because that's what happens with a lot of fighters. You may have a fighter that's got an amazing skill set, but he's not marketable. You got these guys with a garbage skill set, but they're highly, popular on YouTube and Instagram and stuff, so they're able to market. So they put themselves into a position to get these big money, quote unquote, fights.
Yeah.
They're not fights. This stuff that's going on Triller, they're exhibition matches. So any listener that doesn't know what that is, it just basically means it's a glorified sparring match. It doesn't count against your professional record. Okay. And these guys are just, it's entertainment. This Triller stuff is the WWE, like you're saying, of the boxing and fight world.
Right.
There is not a dimension that exists where Floyd Mayweather, a boxer that is 50-0, okay, undefeated, not including the Olympic record, okay, against some of the baddest men that have ever walked this planet, okay, Canelo, Pacquiao, all these guys, all these big names, where he goes the distance with a guy that is 0-1.
Yeah.
Okay. That lost to some YouTube rapper from England or something I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Okay. That dimension doesn't exist. It's a show. They basically pay him to, hey, carry this guy, make him look good so we can keep some money and some fights going.
Yeah.
Kudos to them from a business standpoint.
Yeah.
But it's disrespectful to real fighters and people that really put themselves on the line and have put in the work.
Yeah.
So now you're having problems in the UFC and stuff like you mentioned because these guys are like, bro, I'm getting 250 grand. This YouTuber made 20 mil. Yeah. Man, sign me up to fight these chumps all day.
Yeah.
I'll fight a YouTuber real quick, bro.
So that's what's happening. I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah. It's creating tremendous controversy. You got guys pulling out of fights last minute because they're like, no, I want more pay. I just saw this guy get paid.
Yeah.
And Dana White, the CEO, the Vince McMahon of MMA, is essentially get more influence. Put yourself in a position where you can get those big money fights and you'll get those paydays.
Isn't Dana kind of known for keeping a lot of the money at the top, though? Not paying out very well?
Absolutely. In the end, what you have to realize is that it is a sport, but it is a business. Yeah.
And
it's all about money. And who, in the end, wants to make the most money? The business owner, the CEOs. Those are the guys, always. It trickles down. Now if you're a star employee and you make it up, then you get a little extra bonus, a little something extra. So one thing that is good is they've started giving bigger bonuses.
Yeah.
The typical bonus for submission of the night, knockout of the night, fight of the night used to be 50 grand on top of your purse, your prize money. Now it's 75 grand.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing to laugh at. I'll take 75 grand all day. But when you look at a YouTuber that had a glorified sparring match and walked away with 20 mil, it's nauseating.
Yeah, or some of even and nothing against capitalism in a sense, but when you look at these basketball players and even some of these football players, football is a little bit you're taking a beating on your body. Basketball, you're shooting a ball through a hoop, you're dunking maybe.
Sure.
But yeah, comparing it to that, and these guys are going into fight every day. It just seems like there's a correlation there that could be a little bit more for the fighters.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how much money do you put on your health, wellness, and your brain? For as far as concussion injuries and stuff goes, big price, I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
So these guys should be paid more.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, when we come back, I want to talk about this cancel culture. Charles Barkley, I mean, he's the face of TNT, the NBA, and they talk about this cancel culture that just seems to never stop. It continues to grow, and Barkley's frustrated, and it's an interesting story. I just want to talk about that when we come back. We'll kind of kick that around, and then also give people an opportunity to work out with you. I want to talk about what type of opportunities they have if they do want to get in shape, they want to work out, they want to learn self-defense. Protecting your family, protecting the home. Maybe you're not a firearm concealed carry person like I am, or Thomas King was, or on the show yesterday. But it's something where if you learn how to do the basics, you can at least get out of those scenarios. So Tom, we've got Alex in studio here, Alex Lima. He's going to talk about some basic scenarios and things that you can do to protect yourself right here on the program. We'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere. All right, we got our friend Alex Lima in studio, black belt fitness and martial arts. Let's talk about getting in shape, having fun while doing it, but also being able to kick some butt if you have to.
Yeah, man. I mean, I actually saw a post as I was waiting to come in and do the show. Somebody had asked, "Hey, what's the best martial art to get into if you're looking for fitness?" Well, to answer that question, I don't know if that person's watching, but hopefully they are. It's whatever's going to get you training consistently, whatever's going to get you in there a couple times a week. So if Kung Fu interests you for whatever reason, and it'll get you into the gym 3 or 4 times a week, go and do it. It's better than doing 1 day a week or no days a week of nothing.
Right.
But my personal belief is, find something. Now, it depends on what your goals are. What talking? You want to be in shape just so where you can run around with your kids and play tag, or are you trying to get in shape to be at a competition level? That's different. I believe in having a well-rounded approach, just how I approach mixed martial arts training. I approach my circuit training and my strength training. You have to have balance. So I believe in doing some striking, some grappling, and some self-defense work. I believe you have to have, you have to have endurance, you have to have strength, and you have to have flexibility. So you need to get in there and see that right there is a better sparring match than what happened with Floyd and Logan there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great, man.
Yeah, dude. So I mean, that's what we do. So these guys here, for instance, the video that we're watching is this is one of my heavyweights actually, more advanced guy. And so obviously we can go. My more advanced guys, we go a little bit harder. Not everybody that walks in goes that hard.
Right.
If someone wants to come in and train that hard and really learn how to throw some hands, you can do that. If you just want to come in and hit some pads and be in shape, we can do that as well.
Right.
Everybody has their own path, but the reality is everybody can participate in this stuff and benefit from it in some shape, way, or form.
Absolutely. And you come out feeling great. You got a nice sweat going. You're releasing endorphins. You can get some strength work in too if you want to do some weight science, some cardiovascular. You're working out. You're getting in shape. You're able to understand the dynamics of defending yourself, because a lot of times it's not just a one-on-one fight either.
No, it's not, and we do depending on the client, or if it's a group session training. Sometimes I do scenario-based training where we have two against one or 3-on-1 to simulate those scenarios and situations. Because it's one thing to know how to hit some pads, and then it's another thing to be able to spar, and then it's another thing to be able to know if you can pull this stuff off while 2 and 3 guys are coming at you. Which unfortunately in society is a reality, because most people are cowards and they're not going to fight you one-on-one. Right. It's not a sport when it's on the street or in real life. And a lot of my clients, I actually train quite a few guys that are private security. So I need to show them these defensive tactics where sometimes they have to go against multiple opponents, or them teaming up together to take somebody down without really hurting them. I don't know if you saw recently, it was one of the bills that's being passed in Michigan. Mm-hmm. They're trying to reciprocate it and make it mandatory that now police officers, law enforcement officers, have to have at least a blue belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Wow. So that typically is at least 1 year to 2 years of training before you can be an officer of the law, and I think that's phenomenal. That's pretty cool. That's 1 year or 2 of training, of hands-on training of ground control and how to subdue somebody. Wow. With without essentially breaking them unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times you see these incidents that online, police brutality, blah, blah, all this stuff. I'm not saying like it's not important, but it happens obviously, and it's a shame. But a lot of it is due to a lack of training and understanding of how to handle these situations.
Right.
So shame on them for not taking their job and their career seriously to seek further training.
Right.
And shame on those departments as well for not enforcing it and making it mandatory that they should have further training.
Training can definitely help, that's for sure. If you just joined us, we're talking with Alex Lima, Black Belt Fitness and Martial Arts here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and longtime friend of the program. You can find him online, blackbelt_jitsu on all the social sites. I want to get to this story as well. Charles Barkley quitting inside the NBA at 60, blames cancel culture, says he can't have fun. Can't have fun nowadays. So the story he talks about an interview he did on the Fan in Washington, and Barkley 58, who said he's going to stop with his long running joke. The network said, hey, you got to calm down on some of these jokes. You can't joke as much as you used to. And he says, quote, if you crack a joke the wrong way, they're like, oh, no, you crossed the line. And Barkley said, well, I mean, they won't even let me talk about San Antonio anymore when I'm always talking about their big old women down there in San Antonio. So it's it's kind of a funny type of joke. But, of course, nowadays you can't say anything that's marginally funny. The comedians have even said, I think even Dave Chappelle, a lot of these comedians have come out and said, oh, well, you can't even talk about jokes on the air anymore. So Charles Barkley, do you have any reaction to that, Alex? What's your reaction?
That's it's just insane the way that we're headed. My understanding too is he's been doing that show for like 20 years or something, 20 plus years. That's crazy to do something for 20 years. You enjoyed your job and now you want to walk away just because society sucks. To be honest with you,
yeah, exactly.
To be straightforward. I mean, I saw another thing where a comedian was on stage. You're going to a comedy show. You're going to get ripped on, right? If you go to a comedy show, right? And there's lots of different cultures, people, shape, sizes, and skin shades that are going to be in there. And this comedian was having a little fun with everybody.
Yeah.
And then finally, we'll call her Karen.
Yeah.
Okay. Karen had something to say about it, and he's like, ladies, shut up. He's like, this is a comedy show. This is what I do.
Or maybe Felicia, just call her.
Maybe Felicia or Karen.
Bye, Felicia.
There you go. Yeah, man. So I have always my entire life been the fish that swims against the current. I'm not gonna filter what I say.
Yeah.
So and I probably lose business sometimes because of that, because I won't accommodate a weaker personality or mindset, and that's what that is. People that this whole cancel culture is a weaker mindset and personality.
Yeah, exactly.
They can't handle it.
It's like Dennis Prager, one of the this all stars on our show, on our station here, syndicated host for 400 outlets, I believe. He teamed up with Adam Carolla, and they did a movie called No Safe Spaces, because they're trying to create these safe spaces on campus colleges.
Yeah.
No, you can't talk about that. This is a safe space. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, man.
It's absolutely ridiculous, and people don't understand the repercussions of this. Like, if this continues, I mean, so all of your future leaders, your government, your military leaders, if they don't get rid of the military and law enforcement, whatever they're going to decide to do,
right,
are going to be these weak-minded individuals that don't have thick skin and can't handle things when things get harsh.
Right.
It's ridiculous, and I'm not passing that on to my children or people that are in my circle. So those kind of people aren't in my circle. They won't last very long. So,
absolutely. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And we've talked about this also. What about the man? What about the manly, masculine man? What about the men standing up to certain situations where the school boards? There's been a big backlash in school boards lately. Have you seen some of the videos? I know Charlie Kirk, another all-star that's on our station. He's gone to some school boards. I mean, these people are authoritarian. They're coming in. They're with at this point, okay, the Chinese virus, COVID, it hit. There was some confusion within the first 3 to 4 months, but now we know the facts. We know what happened. We know Fauci flip-flopped. We know a lot of these different things, and we know that a very small chance of dying, especially if you're below 50, 60 years old. Okay, so where are the men? I keep hearing that resounding. Where are the men standing up and fighting? Where are the people that are going against the grain, like you said, swimming against the grain? Where are these guys at, standing up for people and standing up for patriotism and standing up for our rights in America?
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in all of that. Obviously, my YouTube channel is called BlackBelt Jones Adventures in Manhood. It's all about manhood and just being a real man, and I guess that can be that's subjective to a point nowadays, but. You need real men. This world, this planet that we live on was founded on real men and real women.
Yep.
You need strong people. You need people that are willing to fight when others are being defeated and they can't stand up for themselves.
Exactly.
You need people to stand. What are we going to do? Like who's going to stand up to the kid? The kid that's being bullied, who's going to stand up for him? If you have all these people that are like, oh no, I'm not getting involved. You know, you do a greater injustice in society by not getting involved in doing something and by keeping your mouth shut than speaking up and fighting back against injustice and what's wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
and you see those videos too, but it's coming out against Asian, and they pick a culture and they figure out this is going to be our flavor of the week, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see, it was happened to be an African American guy, just boom, cold cocked this Asian lady, knocked her on the ground. All the men are standing around just looking.
Those aren't men.
Back where I'm from, back in the day, I mean, it would have been, hey man, what the hell are you doing?
Those aren't men.
Those
aren't real men.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, a real man is going to intervene and do something about that.
Yeah, exactly. Break it up or intervene or something. We're out of time, my friend. How can they find you online, or where do you want people to reach at?
Yeah, you can call me 813-426-1588. You can look me up at BlackBelt_Jitsu, or just anytime you catch me in the street, just say what's up. I'll talk to you.
Good stuff. All right, Alex Lima, thanks for coming in, my friend.
Anytime, brother.
Appreciate it.